I'm fine.
Welcome to another episode of Talk Smart with
PUGH
and McCART. Listen, we're on day 2 of our 12 days to Christmas, and we're going for knockout of the year. And there's been some great knockouts of the year. We're talking Spence Crawford, we're talking Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, these stoppage wins. But are they knockouts of the year for you? They're big fights. But I'm sure there's some fights on these undercards, on these small hold shows that we've been to that have shown and proven to be some of the best punches we've seen.
Yeah, 100%. I love Tank Garcia knockout, to be honest. A beautiful shot. But some of them strikes, some of those punches that are landed this year, they have been absolutely savage. So I can't wait to get into this one. Yesterday we had domestic fight of the year. Keep your suggestions coming in. And today it's a big one. It's a big one, mate. So off the top of your head, mate, any come into your head straight away?
Yes. The ones that come to my head straight away is the one I mentioned yesterday. I was going to put domestic fight of the year, but I thought, you know what? I'll keep that for knockout of the year because I think it deserves knockout of the year. And that is Samuel Atwe and Mason Cartright. To do it in the 12th round is something special.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you were to put McConnell and Lee Wood in these categories, how many awards did they win in 2021? 21 was it? 22?
22, mate. Only last year. A long time ago.
Jeez, man, it seems like a long time ago. It seems like, yeah, so how many awards did they win? And that fight was in February. Do you know what I mean? So that's how that fight, the drama, the knockout in the 12th round with what, seconds left? That's what adds to it. That's what makes it the knockout of the year, is the drama behind it. And Mason Cartwright and Samuel Atwe for the, was it a British? I think it was the British welterweight title on the line. It was vacant. Mason's been on some good fights, man. He's been in some good wars. Troy Williamson comes to mind, and some people thought he beat Troy Williamson, Mason Cartwright. So then I think Samuel Atwe, they fought at Bolton, and I was in Manchester. I think I was at Smith Eubank too, and I remember waking up on, that was a Friday night show on the Saturday. And I think somebody went up to Bolton and came back down to Manchester and said, listen, if you can get to watch the Samuel Atwe and Mason Cartwright fight, watch it and watch that knockout. And that was sort of the buzz of the morning of that fight week was, did you see Samuel Atwe's knockout of Mason Cartwright? And bear in mind, this was the morning of the rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith. So I was like, I need to watch this. I need to watch it. And I watched the fight and the knockout. I mean, it was spectacular. I mean, Mason Cartwright, like I said, he's a tough man, very tough man. He basically was unconscious on his feet. He was out cold on his feet. And then obviously Cartwright, Samuel Atwe landed a couple of more blows, and it was just a phenomenal stoppage in the 12th round for a British title fight. Could you ask for a better victory, a better way to win a British title? I don't think you can. I really don't think you can.
Yeah, and it's the way that first shot landed from Atwe, and he kind of celebrated it like before he took the second shot.
Yeah, boom.
I think there's that camera angle kind of looking up, and it just looks absolutely savage. Like he knew it was happening. He knew that next shot was the killer shot, and it ended up being it, and it was the biggest win of his career. So I think we both kind of held back a little bit yesterday from directly claiming that as British domestic fight of the year, because we knew that one was a big favourite. But that being said, there are so many more knockouts. I mentioned one to you earlier about Nakatani when he knocked out Andrew Maloney. It's one of those shots where it's like, it looks like everything slows down, and his chin was just had a magnet to his fist. It just connected beautifully. And it's one of those ones that you feel guilty watching again and again and again, because We aren't probably wired up correctly, Andrew, because we get great pleasure out of seeing these knockouts when someone is actually being knocked out. So I did feel a bit guilty when I was doing a bit of research about today, and I did watch that about 10 times, thinking, "Wow."
I was gonna, when we're doing a little bit of research, I was gonna put Alexis Rosia and George Ashe. Alexis Rosia, he knocked out George Ashe from that southpaw right hook, and when you see somebody fall forward and face plant, you just know it's a brutal, horrible, disgusting shot, sickening shot, and that's exactly what happened. George Ashe. This is an honourable mention. If you haven't seen Alexis Rosia, this one happened back in January, so it's one of them fight. It's one of them knockouts where, because it's in January, you automatically think early contender for knockout of the year. But then as the months go on and the fights start happening, you forget all about it. Do you know what I mean? But Alexis Rosia and George Ashe was just a brutal knockout from Rosia. I mean, like I said to you, right hook, and then Ashe just went like that, timber, boom, right on the canvas. And thankfully he was all good. But what a brutal, sickening knockout. But Nakatani though, man, what was that? Nakatani's southpaw, so it was like a backhand, it was like a short left. Was it a left hand or a left hook? It was like a backhand. It was like I don't know what it was, but it was like a short hook, short backhand. And then Maloney just went back timber again. And wow, what a shot that was. And like you said, it was like a magnet. It was just attracted. Boom, clean as a whistle. Probably one of the cleanest knockouts you will ever see. One punch knockouts. The cleanest one punch knockouts you will ever see, I believe, Nakatani.
Yeah, Nakatani's such a great talent. And another one that did first spring to my mind, probably because I was there in the arena, and I feel like you always feel it that little bit more when you are there live. And that was when Lee Wood got knocked out by Maurizio Lara. It come with a lot of controversy because there was so little time left in the round. Could he have survived? But after that shot, I probably think not. 10 seconds left. It was such a beauty. It was that hook that he was practicing. He was practicing that shot on the pads, repeating it in the dressing room an hour before the fight. That
and
shot.
He looked for it.
He was looking for it because
he was looking for it.
Lee Wood was boxing out of this world. Probably the best actually boxing we've seen Lee Wood fight that sort of fight for a while. But Lara hit that shot. That shot he was looking for. That shot he'd been practicing. That shot he'd been repeating. And that shot that I know Josh Warrington knows is powerful and is dangerous. So that kind of silenced a home Nottingham crowd. And I feel like that added a little bit more effect for me because I saw that and see the consequences of when someone who's boxing so well can switch off for a split second and it's lights out, and that's your world title gone.
Well, that's it. You try and hook with a hooker. Remember that old saying? A lot of people say, don't try and hook with the hooker. If somebody's got a killer left hook or a killer right hook, don't try and swing with them. Do you know what I mean? Keep it long, keep it straight. And that's what Lee Wood was doing. He was keeping it long, he was keeping it straight, and he was winning the fight handsomely. And then as he was throwing his hook, Lara threw his hook, and then boom, that's all she wrote. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes when we talk about like knockouts of the year as well, we're looking at the heavyweight division. But does anything stand out for you in the heavyweight division for knockout of the year?
A good question, Andrew. I thought, have you got any for me? Have you got any?
Oh, I like Jared Anderson. He's a young heavyweight that I really like, and I don't think that he's had a knockout of the year, but he's had some very technical knockouts of the year, and he's very powerful, and accumulations of punches is what the way he deals with things. But Matty Harris, and I'm trying to think if this was this year. Matty Harris he done a right uppercut on somebody. I think it was early this year in Newcastle. This just came to my mind when I'm thinking the heavy young Matty Harris. Even though he suffered a loss in Edinburgh, I'm gonna have to look this up. Sorry, Joe, give me a second. I hope this is this year because it was a first round knockout by Matty Harris, and it was a brutal knockout. And it's one of them ones where if you can watch it back, go and watch it because it was an absolutely sickening knockout. And I think it was. Yep, it was. It was 31st of March, so it falls into this year. Perfect. So, yeah, Matty Harris. go and watch his knockout. The one in Manchester Arena. What a brutal knockout that was as well. The kid, he lost his last fight. He got stopped, but Matty Harris is a phenomenal young heavyweight I want to look out for. I just think when you think of knockouts of the year, you're half thinking of the heavyweights, but I couldn't think of one, which is quite disappointing.
Hopefully we'll get some on the 23rd of December, because I think we're going to have to kind of do a few updates on the last day before Christmas, mate.
Yeah.
There's some big heavyweight fights, and we could see some big heavyweight knockouts. I think Moses Atelma's last fight comes to mind. That was some knockout. I just think every year there's so many unbelievable knockouts, and I think this is going to be rare for this 12 Days of Christmas series. We both agree that the knockout of the year is Samuel Atwe knocking out Mason Cartright in the final round for that British title fight up in Bolton.
I agree. I just think if you watch that fight, I mean, again, there's more to it to win an award or whatever. You know what I mean? You've got to have something there. And I think with the drama of being in the 12th round British title fight, small hall show, 12th round, knocked out on his feet, and then Samuel Atwe just sort of paused and went back in with another little combo, and it was just beautiful. And yeah, what a knockout that was. I mean, that could have been domestic fight of the year. I mean, I could have just gave them two awards there, but I thought Liam Dillon deserved it yesterday. So yeah, knockout of the year for me, definitely. And I think you agree. Nakatani, I think it's a joint effort, because Nakatani's sickening, man.
100%. And look, guys, I promise you we're not going to be speaking about Samuel Atwe and Cartwright for all 12 of the days. It's 2 for 2. But yeah, make sure you're getting involved in this, the 12 Days of Christmas with PUGH and McCART. Yesterday, what did you think the domestic fight of the year was? Keep them coming in. Today, what is that KO of the year? There's so many great ones. But yeah, until tomorrow, we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. And listen, remember, leave a comment, let us know. If we've missed anything because we're idiots, then please do let us know. Because I'm sure there's a knockout of the year or domestic fight of the year that we've missed. So leave a comment, let us know.
Cheers, mate. I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm fine.